Welcome back to Tea Time Talks, and today we're going to conclude our series of teas that I already tried before. This is pink chai karak, and I already tried it, and it's probably the least favorite one. But it's not for sure. I'm gonna try it today, and maybe the rating will change. However, the cup is too hot, so I'm going to put it down. And I'm not having any snacks today because the topic is just too much to handle to be able to eat in the process. So let's buckle up and talk about the most controversial thing that is going on now in Harry Potter theme is the HBO Harry Potter upcoming series, and more specifically the new casting. I am millennial, of course I like Harry Potter. Yes, it's true, I do like Harry Potter. I read all the books, I watched the movies, I tried to watch or go through the Fantastic Beasts. I tried to read The Cursed Child, but it didn't really go well. But yeah, let's talk about the canonic 7 books, 8 movies, and now a series. So I'm using my other phone to be able to read some materials that I prepared for this video. And let's talk about the confirmed cast. And this particular article starts with Hagrid. And the actor Nick Frost is going to portray our favorite groundkeeper in Hogwarts. Sounds familiar, this guy looks familiar, but I know nothing about him. I can't even recognize him from any particular movie. Maybe you can help me with that. But he looks kind of small, does he? I mean, like, Hagrid is a huge giant, and I know that in original movies they were using another actor, a huge, I guess he was a basketball player, who they were filming kind of from the back or from the side, or like in comparison with the children or adults, so he would look like he's bigger and higher. So I think with this actor they just will have to use some more imagination, maybe do the same trick they did with the Robbie Coltrane when they were using the furniture that is bigger when people are going to Hagrid's hut. I don't mind that. I mean, he seems like a nice guy. Hagrid was a nice guy, so why not? I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it, except the fact that he is kind of small for a half giant, as Hagrid was. Or they can say, you know what? We decided that Hagrid could be just a human. We don't care that he's half giant and supposed to be giant. He can be just a normal looking guy, because that's what it's about now. Next one is Dumbledore, and this is my least favorite character. In the first and the second movie, I absolutely love Dumbledore. He is a figure of like a wizard or magician. He knows tricks, he's calm, he's like charming, he's soothing. I don't know, he's cool. The Dumbledore in the first 2 movies was very good. Like, I had no problem with him. As soon as they brought Michael Gambon, I like Michael Gambon, of course I like Michael Gambon, but Dumbledore, the way he made him, or more specifically directors who were telling him to do it this way, is not my cup of tea. It's not a person who I would trust, and me personally think that the Dumbledore, after first and second movie, became a super manipulative bitch. Of course, in the book, he was always this way. Interesting additions that John Rowling was adding after books were already published, like making Dumbledore gay out of nowhere. We're probably gonna see it in the new HBO series as well. But everything is fine until he is trying to hit on Harry. That's going to be illegal.
That would be illegal.
This guy is John Lithgow, probably a great British actor. I have no idea. I also don't know what to expect. I don't know this guy. And to be fair, I didn't know any of the actors who were acting in the first Harry Potter movies because I was like 7 years old. 5 years old. I was 5 years old at that time, and I don't even remember myself. Okay, give him a chance. Minerva McGonagall, especially Maggie Smith, she is a queen. She slays. She is amazing. She was the one who, like, you like her. It doesn't matter which movie. I believe Maggie Smith made it a great character, maybe even better. I think even more bright than McGonagall was in the books. So now it's going to be Janet McTeer. I am so sorry if I pronounce it wrong, but again, I don't know this actress. I have no idea who is she. I have no idea where I could have seen her if I ever did. Um, but apparently, she may do a great job. He may do a bad job. It also depends on the directors, and we have no idea what's going on there. I feel like all my comments are kind of the same because the next ones are Professor Quirrell and Filch, and I can say exactly the same words I said before about actors who would portray other characters. So let's go to the juicy part. And the juicy part, of course, you know it, you guessed it, you name it. Professor Snape. I think even the most lazy person already did their opinion, already expressed their opinion on this choice of actor, and I want to add my 2 cents as well because sometimes I feel like people missing the point. So the idea is that HBO series, HBO producers, directors, they want to add inclusivity, diversity to Harry Potter, which in my opinion doesn't need it. Not because it is a book of a white woman for white children of white Britain who don't care or don't face anything related to racism and stuff like this. No, but before we will go to, of course, the most interesting part of the video, I want to try the tea since it's time, it's not as cold. And also check out my mug. I specifically chose the transparent one so you can see this beautiful pink color. Truth be told, it does taste better than I remember. And I think I need a little bit more time to settle my opinion about it. So let's talk. Let's get back to the Professor Snape. Harry Potter movies were released. The last one was like a little bit more than 10 years ago, right? 13 years ago. For me, it's not so much time passed since then, so I believe Harry Potter doesn't even need a new adaptation. But if we are going there, I was happy that it is a series. Since we already seen what movie can give us, let's see what series can offer since it's much more time. They have many episodes, many seasons, much more hours to show us what was happening, what movies missed, especially the fact that all the movies are already out and it is so much easier for them either filming something like flashbacks or something. So Lily and James suddenly didn't look like they're 50 or like they died out of old age. Like seriously, that was the most annoying moment then when Lily and James, by the canon, supposed to be 20 and they look like they, I don't know, on their deathbed. Now, since all the books are out, they can predict this such things and they can film it in advance, or they can choose the younger actors. Maybe they can even fix certain mistakes that were happening in the movies, or maybe they can fix the plot holes even that are happening in the books. That were my thoughts before they started giving the casting results. So I was thinking that it's going to be such a success because those people already have all these advantages. They know the whole story. They know for sure that people are going to watch it and they're going to talk about it. They have so much money because people also, no, people I meant like producers and the companies productions, they know that people are going to watch. They also know people are going to buy merch, so there is so much investment happening there. Like it is so obvious that it's going to be success. At least it will cover its own budget. It's not going to be a flop. Well, it wasn't in my head. After that they decided to add some spice, and the spice was black pepper, and it wasn't Sirius Black. It was Snape. They decided to cast a black person acting Severus Snape. Of course, these jokes already were said on the internet. The marauders, a group of white boys, were bullying the only black boy in the school, probably at that time. I don't know. The only professor that Harry was suspicious about and thinking that he's bad was black. So everything comes down to racism. So my thought on that is that if they wanted to somehow acknowledge problems of racism, which obviously wasn't done with many movies before them and many series before them, they suddenly decided to talk about it in 2025. At this point, if they made a series a black person, that would be much more adequate, because in this case it will be like a black person that was wrongly accused of doing crime, going to jail. But anyway, in my opinion, if you wanted to actually have character who represents black person and the black community and talk about their rights and their problems and stuff like this, you can already take a black person out of many characters of Harry Potter. There are several kids in Gryffindor, there is kid in Slytherin, and I'm not talking like in general. Of course, you can add even new characters to do that. It's your series, you can do whatever you want. But what you're doing by changing the race of the character that was canonically pale and with like greenish skin, you can either create a person to give him those speeches. I was mentioning kids. Okay, you don't want to mention kids. Let's take an adults. There is Kingsley. Don't forget there was a beautiful game, Hogwarts Legacy, that features all people, different races with different backgrounds. You can even add something that is a canon from there to Harry Potter, since that was from the past. There could be some descendants. Okay, I don't know what's happening, but my nose is itchy a lot. I don't know if it's because of the tea or because of the topic. But the main idea is that I don't see Papa Sidu as a good choice of actor for Severus Snape, just because he has a canonical description, and I believe if the character has it, let's follow it. Second of all, if you really wanted to add some narrative about black communities and black people problems, even though what I saw with my child eyes and stuff like this, Harry Potter, original books and original movies that were made by these books, they already featured black characters, Asian characters, Indian characters, white characters of different places, and I don't remember like actual racism there. The racism there was a metaphor between pure bloods and mudbloods. So, if you want to talk about some kind of problems of the and racism and stuff like this, Harry Potter already spoke about it, but in a different way. And for a long time already, fans all around the world in different forms and shapes expressed their disagreement with casting choices of HBO directors and producers. Me personally, I even thought that, because I did hear that John Rowling actually involved, and when I heard about it first time, I was so happy, because I was thinking that she will follow the same ideology she did before. She will only cast people from England or Great Britain, and she is the creator of the whole universe, right? The Harry Potter universe. It's her baby basically, and she is the one who created all the characters. She was the one involved during the casting for the Harry Potter movies, and since it's all so close to her vision, I am happy to see it, because why to watch a movie that is like a fan fiction of a story that you like? Why not to watch a movie that is very closely connected to the books that you like? and therefore you will like the story as well. And of course, let's not forget that canonically, Alan Rickman also wasn't a perfect choice of an actor because he was much older than Snape was supposed to be. But again, let's not forget that Lily and James and Sirius and Remus, all of them were not so young. They weren't like 30 years old. No, they all were over 40, I believe. I don't want to just say words, so let's actually check it. Okay, David Thewlis was born in 1963, which means when he was acting in Harry Potter, he was already 40 years old. Gary Oldman was born in 1958, which means when he was acting in Harry Potter, he was 45 years old. I saw a comment yesterday that says that Papa As You Do doesn't look like Snape because he's kind, he's handsome, he's stuff like this. I could agree that he is maybe too handsome to be Snape, since we know that Snape has literal hook instead of his nose. I mean, guys, that's like the most feature that is this and the dirty black hair. I don't know if it's going to be changed as well, but we have the nose, we have the fact that he was supposed to be super skinny, which also doesn't align with Alan Rickman's version of Snape. So I don't want to say that the movies did everything perfectly. No, of course not. And I don't want to say that Alan Rickman was perfect Snape. Of course, yes. I mean, let me elaborate. Alan Rickman portrayed a character that was supposed to be Snape by the actions that were happening and what was happening to him. Is Snape, but he created something else. The Snape in his role is a very honorable. You know what I want to say? You know what I'm trying to say? I want to say that he is better than the Snape from the books. He is more, he's not as emotional because we know that Snape was in the book. He was more aggressive and he was overprotective, obviously, then over aggressive to Gryffindors. He was not fair to Gryffindors. We did see it in movies, but he wasn't such an asshole as he was in the books. Even in the books, it mentioned that he could strike marauders when they didn't look, like when they didn't see, like from the back or something, like, which means that Snape is not as fair, let's say. But Alan Rickman's version makes him some kind of a Darcy version of Snape. I don't know, like if you take a Snape and merge him with Darcy and he would become like a prince or something, I don't know, a lord. I don't know. I hope you kind of understand what I'm trying to say. That's why, in my opinion, Alan Rickman's Snape is just a perfect character. It's my favorite character, so I can't say anything against it. Alan Rickman made Snape look 10 times, 100 times better than he is actually in the books. That's why when they decided to make the series, I was like, yeah, okay, it's going to be different Snape. Of course, there is nobody who can portray Snape as good as Alan Rickman, but there is no need. Snape isn't as perfect as Alan Rickman made him. He is still sneaky, he's still not fair, he's not a pleasant person. So you can choose an actor who can do that and it will be different Snape. The actor who is going to take this role is not going to do it better than Alan Rickman. He just has to do it differently. And that's why I was open-minded and I would be accepting any actor, because yes, we don't know, even if you see the picture of the actor, you don't know how he will actually act during the staging. But choosing an actor that doesn't fit this role, first of all, by the canonical description, second of all, I feel like it would work if you will just change the race of entire popularity in Hogwarts, and then it would be kind of okay when everybody in the Hogwarts bullying a black person, because it's definitely going to racism talks, and I believe Harry Potter has enough racism with mudbloods and purebloods. You didn't need to do this extra effort and add more stuff to it. I saw one of the news saying that Joan Rowling is going to participate in creation of the series, and um, I thought she can put whatever she wants. Like she can tell them, no, I don't want this actor, I don't want this character, I don't want this line to be that or something. So put some corrections since it's her child basically. But eventually I figured out that no, um, the HBO series about Harry Potter has completely different producers, it has completely different directors, and John Rowling, even if he has access to witness what is happening there, she doesn't have any power over the casting. And the news that I saw yesterday, or let's be fair, a rumor that I saw yesterday, is saying that John Rowling actually trying to sue Warner Brothers, so she would have uh, the full rights on Harry Potter, and in this way she will have ability to influence the process. Probably, if she will actually win and if she will actually get the rights back, we will have changes in the casting. Maybe there will be changes in directors, and maybe there won't be any series at all. Even though I think it's not a bad idea to make a series. I noticed that Gen Z don't know about Harry Potter, and it's not something like, oh yeah, I watched it, but I don't really know what's happening. Or some people, I know them a lot. They don't even watch it. They didn't read it. They didn't watch it. And on the contrary, Gen Alpha, they do know. They are fans. I see a lot of kids who belong to Gen Alpha, who know Harry Potter and love Harry Potter, and they dress up as Harry Potter. Maybe series will bring Gen Z. They will turn them to Harry Potter and make them the Potterheads as well. But for millennials, I think it is heartbreaking to see what's happening to Harry Potter, and of course, nobody can stop them. They will make it, but will it stay in our heart, in our lives? We will talk about it, especially for these years when it's going to be released. Say, first 7 years, they will talk about it, but after that, people will try to forget about it, just like I try to forget about Fantastic Beasts existing. So hopefully, I was clear enough to be able to put it all together and express my thought. Long story short, I don't think it's the actor's fault. I don't think it's character's fault. I think it's director's fault. I don't know what they're trying to do. And if at the beginning I was excited about new Harry Potter series, now I feel desperate because I will watch it, but I will have to watch it. I will not want to watch it. I will be basically forced just because of my love to movies and books, and just I just wouldn't want to be left out. And now is the only thing that is left is to rate this chai karak, pink chai karak. To be fair, I actually read about it after I drank it for the first time because the taste was very weird and I was trying to understand what is the pink color. Tell me your guesses in the comments because honestly, the pink is so bright. I refuse to think it was artificial. My guess was a dragon fruit, but I didn't know for sure. I googled it, I found out the answer. Comment below your guesses, and I will like the ones that are true guesses. Please don't Google it because it's just not fun. Anyway, this tea, when I tried it first time, smelled like fish to me. It tasted like fish to me. Now it's kind of okay, but still I feel like it has something, and I know why. The base for this tea is not black tea, it is green tea. And for me, green tea usually has something fishy in it, like dry fish flavor. And especially when added with milk, it becomes kind of disgusting. If I think about it long enough, I will not even drink this cup of tea anymore. But I kind of liked it. I didn't hate it. When I tried it first time, I really thought something was wrong with me or with the tea. But this time, it's actually not so bad. And let me rate it. It's not as bad, but it's still not the best thing I ever tried. And it's also not something that I would order if I had to, if there were other options. So I'm going to rate it 5 out of 10. I don't hate it. I wouldn't just get it if I had a choice. But anyway, thank you for your attention. See you next time. Bye.